Today we're gonna make a top 10 of the Love on Tour outfits. That's quite a task, but let's start. Up front, like, how am I gonna do this? Because there were 170 shows, so a top 10 of that is quite a hard task. But also fun. It's like time to be a bit reminiscent about the Love on Tour. And also, I think that the outfits are quite a vital part of the fandom and the fun within. And there has been so many beautiful outfits during this 2-year long tour that it deserves a bit of extra attention. But the way I came up with of how I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna do it in separate legs of the tour. So you have the first American one, the first Europe one. Then we have like the second American one, the Asia. Oh yeah, what I don't know, is Asia first? No, I think South America is there in between. Then we have Asia and Australia and New Zealand. And then we have the second leg in Europe. So there's a lot to cover. And we're gonna do each leg separately. And I'm gonna choose like the top ones from each leg. And then in the end, we're gonna make a top 10. I think that is the easiest way of doing this. I'm also very curious to see what your top outfits would be. So yeah, to give you a bit of an idea of all the outfits, the first American leg, that was also still the Fine Line era, right? Love on Tour wasn't out. Love on Tour. Harry's House wasn't out yet, which is quite a difference with the second leg, the European leg. This makes me so happy to see again. And yeah, here we see more of like the leg in South America, Asia, and the last European tour. On one hand, it feels like a long time ago. On the other hand, it was like the summer before this summer, yeah, 1.5 years ago. Like if you live in Europe, like I think if you live in the States, it's obviously longer ago, but 1.5 years since the last time I saw him. Okay, but we do have 170 shows. Before I'm gonna do this, let's give a big shout out to Harry Lambert, who is like the stylist. And also the whole team at Gucci. I was trying to find more information about who are actually the people who make all these outfits. I think they're custom made. If you see like how well tailored they are, like to his body, which also has changed throughout the tour. If you see like just his muscles, etc., it just evolved a lot during those 2 years. So it has to be handmade, like to make it fit each time. So I would love to give those people a personal shout out. And besides the outfits, of course, also all the other people who do his hair, who do the makeup. But today we are really focusing on the outfit part. So first, let's back and let's rewind to September 2021. This was still mid-COVID, like the first big wave and the second wave in Europe we just came out of it. In the States, eventually they could start again, but the original tour, like the Fine Line tour, was postponed. It started again in September 2021 in America, and he did like a big-ass tour. He went through, I think, almost all states, and they had to be in a bubble, if I remember correctly. And this was also the Fine Line era. There were no stadiums. And if you look at the outfits, there were really two types of outfits. The first one is the largest category. Those are the trousers, the suspenders with the blouses, and then the trousers were really high waist. So I think like above his navel even, with really accentuates like his long legs and his small waist. And then the blouses were more like a bit loose, and they were all kind of patterns and materials. So we had like the cotton ones, but also more silk. We had like the sparkling ones, and there were like all kind of bold color combinations, but also completely black or beige. The trousers sometimes were one color, but they could also have like embroidery on it. And there were more like on several shows, he had more like the suit pieces, and often then the suits were without arms or like with special arms, like with the big feathers. And I think those were more for the special shows, because I do this because it's not necessarily more special, but I think in the Los Angeles ones, in the LA ones, and the New York ones, and also on the last couple of shows, I can't remember out of my head where that was. So yeah, up front, I gave myself the task like, okay, I want to select already so many, but eventually you have to get to a top 10, right? So I'm gonna minimize myself to 5 for this leg for now. And I think I'm gonna pick 2 out of the categories with like the high trousers. Like I would say the fine line outfits. And it was quite a hard pick. But I came up with 2. And the first one might be surprising, but I will die on this hill. And that's this one, the Philadelphia one. Why I really love this is, first, it's really fine line. So if you ask me the color of fine line, these are the album colors. I think he looks so beautiful in it. I also really, really like that it is like the baby pink. And there is like some kind of embroidery on it. I don't know necessarily what it is. It looks a bit like a chain, like just like my necklace. But yeah, I feel like I can't leave the fine line out of it. If you're like, what is the most, if I think back about that time, that era, this just comes up. And look how beautiful with all the pride flags. This makes me so happy. Okay, so that's the first one. The second one, this one is so pretty. It's the red one. The rose. I would call this the rose outfit. He looks like a rose. Yeah, it's really beautiful. Yeah. This one is also very pretty. Yeah, same girl. Yeah. Like I do also really like the completely black one, but I feel like if I think about this period, I'm gonna like do those 2. And then we have the suits kind of that I just talked about. So we had like the bedazzled tassel ones. He also did those a lot on the second leg in Europe, like I know in Vienna, but then it was like with the multicolor patterns. Yeah. I think I'm gonna select 3 of these. Yeah, this is hard. But first this one, Las Vegas. I don't know, it's something with all red. It looks so beautiful. But I don't think this one will be in the top 10, to be honest. Because we already have a completely black one. Or a completely red one. This one. This is the only velvet outfit of all 170. And if you ask me about like HS4, I wouldn't be surprised if we're gonna see these kind of outfit much more. Like not necessarily the top, but just the material. And only Angel was still on the set list back then. I've never seen that one live. Yeah, it's very pretty. Let's have a closer, like it's, I think velvet, but it's also really with the embroidery of like several flowers. I think this color looks wonderful. Yeah, this is one of my favorites. Yeah, and this one, you can't... I think this one is just a fan favorite or like a statement piece from the Love on Tour. This was in New York. Yeah, like blackbird. And sh- do you think that when he put something like this on, he looks in the mirror and he's like, damn, this looks good? And there's another specific reason why I love this outfit. And I don't know if it is inspired by this, but like throughout Love on Tour, you could see that there were like several outfits that, at least for me, were really inspired on like the generations above him. And this made me really think like the picture with the glasses of this one, of Elton John. Yeah, you can see the resemblance, right? I love that. So far we have this five. And I think we've done quite well so far because this is hard. We are also just getting started, so you also have to get a bit of an idea of which outfits are there. But we do have one honorable mention, and we can't finish this top 10 without her. So, like, I don't know which outfits are gonna be in there completely. I do have some form of an idea, but she will be in it, and we are talking, of course, about Dorothy. This makes me so happy. Let's talk about the outfit for a bit because um, he is obviously as Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz. They all dressed up. I think this is the first time that he wore more of a dress on stage, but it was with like some kind of, I would say, a baby trousers underneath it. Also, a very fun but beautiful detail is like the boots. Yeah, there's actually boots. So the ballerinas he's wearing, the sandals are actually boots, as you can see here with like the zipper. And if you look up close, there are so many beautiful details of like little strawberries, but they also have still many details on it, as you can see in this picture. And just in general, like I really like that. First, he was so happy that evening, and second, I think this was really the first, like, if you think about Harry Ween, I would, yeah, probably in the future if he's gonna do more Harry Ween show, I feel like this is the start. And let's look a bit at it.
I look cute.
Mitch in that costume in the background. I can get easily sentimental if I hear him sing that song. I know it's like fitting with the theme, but also just I'm really glad that he provides such a safe space in general for like being yourself. And he has such an angelic voice. I swear to I don't know who, but if people say that he can't sing, I'm always like that's on you, because then you apparently haven't listened to his music, because how like so far we have after the first legs we have 6. We need to get a top 10. Yeah, this is gonna be quite hard. But I do think that I'm supporting my own decision to do it like this, because otherwise I wouldn't. It would be too hard. It would be too painful. Like now I still have an idea that I can pick a lot of different outfits. And then we are going to the second tour. Forward to the second leg. We are now entering the Harry's House era. This is the Love on Tour, the second leg in Europe. This was still mostly within arenas. This was also the first time that I saw him live in Amsterdam. And the outfits did change quite a lot. So there is clearly a before Harry House era in outfits, which were really like, again, the blouses, the high trousers, and the suspenders. When entering Harry's house, I think, especially in the first leg, we had like 3 types of outfits. The first one were these ones, like the shirts, the trousers with like bold patterns in stripes, in, how do you call them, circles. And they were kind of like a mismatch. It feels like, you know, when you go to this... to a certain store and there's like pick 4, buy 3, and then you can mix and match everything. But I do like that it felt like fitting for Harry's house, which is such an uplifting, happy, also with the visuals that came on tour that period. Then we had like the t-shirts. So it's a bit different because these have like a certain embroidery on it. So as the heart, the kiwi, the cherry, cute, but a lot of t-shirts. And then there were like several suits and the start of the dungarees. Like I would say that these are also quite iconic for Love on Tour. You see them on the row above. So you have like the one, of course, in the first Wembley show. Then we had like several of the first suits, which you're going to see a lot more in this tour, in the Harry's House era. The left one, I think the blue-orange one, that was one of his first ever arenas that he did on the start of tour. And Harry's House was just blowing up like immensely around that time. The second one in the middle, that's the first show that I went to. I really like that suit because, again, it was the fine line. So I did feel like a bit of getting the fine line feeling. And then in the bottom row, we have several, I would specify them as some other outfits, like from Wembley. You have more like the tops. I'm not going to choose a lot from this era, to be honest, because I do feel like... we have like the shirts and like the dungarees and the suits, they're all very pretty, but I also know what is coming. So I know that there are much prettier ones in like, I think there are several very beautiful ones in the Australia-New Zealand tour, also in the second Europe tour. So this is like, we have to make decisions. The one that I'm gonna choose is this one. Like this one is actually, look at this photo shoot. But this might be the only time he wore like trousers with a shirt. We do have, of course, the cowboy trouser outfit, which we're gonna review later. But I really like this one. Why? Because it's simple, but it does have a lot of details. So you have like the jeans with like the HS on the back. We have like the red and the purple, the kind of bright colors. And I do feel like, as again, red is such a good color on him. Also, this night, I remember watching the live stream. He was so happy during this concert. It was one of the first stadiums again. It was in England. And this photo shoot is also like, yeah. In general, this was also a time in my own personal life where like Love on Tour just had such an uplifting effect on my mood, on like... in the fandom, you could just feel that this was a meaningful time. Because besides, of course, today we're all completely reviewing outfits, but this was also the time that we got Coachella, the movies were coming up. A lot was happening at this time. Here again. And from the t-shirts, I'm having a favorite one, and this is, I think, the first Vienna one. It's with the kiwi. And one thing I really like is that there were a lot of fans a lot of fans who made this outfit afterwards. So after the show in Vienna, because it's relatively easy to reproduce. So far we have 8 outfits. We have 6 of the first legs. These are the 2 European ones. And I'm gonna take a break for a moment. The third leg, that's actually quite a hard leg. And I think I'm gonna need some help with that. Or probably it might also be a hard one for you to choose. But that is the second American leg, and there are a lot of shows. So we had like the 15 shows in New York, in Los Angeles. There were shows in, I don't know, somewhere in Texas, I guess. But also the birthday shows. We had Harry Ween. There were several shows that got postponed because of, I think he was sick, a couple shows. And there's so much good to choose from. Like, honestly, from this tour alone, you can make a top 10, and that wouldn't be easy. So let's, I categorize them a bit. So first we have, again, the t-shirts one with all of the patterns that are mixed and matched. Yeah, you can clearly see that this is like a continuation of the Harry's House era. Then we had like with the tops, we do have some new ones here. So in the first leg of, in Europe, you mostly had the t-shirts. Now we have more tops. And yeah, as you can see, we now also have stripes. There are several ones with little hearts. Those also come true. There were several ones that were quite hated with the fans. I would say those are the 3 top ones. People call that the acrobat or the gymnastics. But I'm gonna give a very special shout out to one of them. And that's this one. Because this is not a coincidence. I know, like, 100% based on David Bowie. And I really like that. I think it's a great way of kind of showing respect without making it too bold in your face. So I absolutely hated when I saw how much criticism this outfit got, because I was like, this is actually so cute that he is kind of paying a tribute. So yeah, I think even though with the Elton John one, I am not like, that was more a coincidence because of the sunglasses, but I do feel that this is intentional. And then we have like much more of the suits. So he had all these fun, I would more call it tracksuit suits. So they are not like with like a real blazer or something, but more like, yeah, as a tracksuit. And he had them in all kind of cowboy themes, of more beach themes with glitter patterns, with pride flags. And also we had like this 2 top ones. There were so many good outfits. I remember when he came out in like the first, like, how do you call this? The 2-piece, the 2 trouser piece, the 2 denim piece. I love that one in New York, but you also had the picture that was like plastered everywhere because that man, I think, is just in the gym always, or just has another genetic luck in the lottery game, because I know like so many people probably work out for the rest of their life to get something like that, and he can sing, he can dance, and oh yeah, he also has like an 18-pack or something. But besides like the state of his body, I think this is a beautiful and well done piece of clothing. In general, like, everything fits him so well. And a fun thing to maybe mention is, if we go back one moment to like all these outfits with like the t-shirts and with the tops, is that these are jumpsuits. So it might look as if this is just a t-shirt that is in his trousers, but these are actually jumpsuits that you can tighten like between your legs. And this probably helps to keep everything in place, because that's one of the things that you can see, like he dances like everything fits so well. And besides one trouser that got ripped, like everything just stayed in place during his acrobatics on stage for 90 minutes. Okay, but yeah, so as you can see, we already have so many good ones. And then actually we have these ones. So we have Harry Ween, where he came out as, what's the name again? From Greece. I'm gonna put in that later. And we had like the birthday outfit and the last outfit of the European leg. Yeah, I'm gonna sigh for a moment because this is quite an impossible task. We have like maybe almost 40 outfits. I'm so curious, which of the American ones are your favorites? Yeah, I'm gonna say like there is from the two-piece with like the shirts and the trousers. There's one that I really like that I'm gonna include. And that's this one. I just feel like this is just, if you ask me like to choose an outfit that is so representative of Harry's house era, I would say this one with the glitters and the weird patterns and all the colors. And also this is a very beautiful trouser. Look at all those shining patterns. Yeah. I really like that one. Then, let's see, we have the tops. I don't think I'm gonna pick one of the tops, to be honest. We have to be quite harsh. Then from the, yeah. We're gonna introduce two of the suits. So I really like, of course, the denim on denim. Yeah. I like this one more than the one with the pink hearts because it has like the cherries on the back. Also, like I would immediately wear that trouser because it's like a jeans, but it has like little stars on it, and also on the end of the jeans. Like it's such a pretty jeans. Look at that jeans. Yeah, I would wear that immediately. So maybe I should DIY that for the next tour. I think that's actually that might even be like possible, like a trouser like this. If you just like make all those things on it. Who knows? Who knows how creative we're gonna be for the next tour. But yeah, it does feel a bit painful because I also really like Cowboy Harry. I also really like Beach Harry. And then we also have like the birthday and the, yeah, but I feel like if you look at all the tracksuits together, this one, yeah, I'm gonna pick this one. Do you see this? This is just like a Barbie dream. But again, like, I think this is really difficult to make. So big shout out to the people at Gucci who do this. Even like his mic pack is like completely bedazzled. It fits him so well. I really like all the white, like the white leg trousers. Also with the two types of pink. It's so pretty. And he was literally just a mirror ball. You don't know you're beautiful. So I feel like this is actually costing me a couple years of my life, man, because, okay, how many outfits do we have so far? Okay, we have this so far. 11 outfits. So we already crossed the top 10. But I do feel that like the hardest tours are behind us. Now we have several smaller tours and the second Europe tour, which quite objectively might have one of the best outfits. So let's dive into that. We have the fourth leg, which was Central and South America. So we went to Mexico and several countries in South America. I think Brazil, Argentina, I think Colombia. There were several rain shows. And here you have an impression of like some of the outfits. So again, we had the lingeries, we have like the suits, and like the tops. So it's again a continuation. There are not a lot of very new concepts, only different colors, different patterns. What is your favorite? Like, for me, it's 100% the Brazil one. It looks a bit like his birthday suit, but again, this is so beautiful done with the flowers on it. Also, this must be take so long to make. What is happening to all these outfits? Like, are they stalled somewhere? Oh, honey. It's not flowers. They're actually hearts. Look. Yeah, I do feel like if in London, for example, they would open a museum that is solely Harry's outfit, I think that would be a hit. I think people would love that and would love to pay for that, to just admire all these outfits. I know I would go. So we're gonna include that one. I am doubting a bit if I'm gonna include another one. Like, I'm doubting a bit because I do feel like eventually, maybe, I don't know if it's gonna end up in the top 10, but at least in like the selected one, I did really like the tops with the heart ones. You know, you had several ones. You had, I think, one where he performed with Lizzo. And I feel like this actually, the one with the leather trouser. So you had like the purple trouser with like the hearts is the most beautiful one. I also really like the light blue version with like the yellow ones. But let's include this one. Let's give South America also a couple of inclusions. Till the morning. And not to mention that this extravaganza. I find it so funny because it's probably very humid there. It was like 30 degrees and he was like, yeah, let me just come here and put on my big rainbow coat. Diva. Who's that diva? Oh, I love it. Yeah, we're gonna select that one. Is actually, yeah, that's actually, I'm not doubting about that anymore. So we do have two extra ones, the purple ones. I also want to give a shout out to like this one with the flag. If you work for the marketing department of Brazil, I would just like put this one up. Probably make a lot of people happy enough to come visit. Are we halfway there? I think so. So from South America, we're flying to the other side of the world. Actually, there was like the pit stop for the postponed shows in America, but let's just, for the ID, travel with all of us to Australia, New Zealand, and Southeast Asia. A lot of good outfits, especially in Australia and New Zealand. I feel like there was some kind of color matching. Maybe this is also what I think of when I think about Australia. I think about the land down under, there's sun, there's dust, there's like a lot of yellow. He wore a lot of light yellow. I also really liked that there were several t-shirts with like new patterns on it. I think one of the best patterns of the whole leg were in New Zealand and Australia. If you see here with like the space one, the tail of I think a whale. Yeah, in general, he looks absolutely exquisite in this time, especially because I think of his tan and like the longer hair. Maybe this was just a happy era for him. I don't know. He looks beautiful as always. And then we have these outfits. These were for Southeast Asia. Not very outstanding. I did really like that the fans, I think this was mostly in Thailand and Japan, brought all of these like hats and he wore them. So he was like a sushi. Yeah. he's such a cutie patootie. I know he's a 30-year-old man, okay, but it's still a cutie patootie. But not really difficult to pick some outfits. Of course, we're gonna include one of the yellow ones, and I do really like the two-piece suit that looks a bit like the jeans that we got in New York, but then in yellow. Yeah, he looks so good in it. Yellow is also such a good color on him. He also has so much confidence in these trousers to do this every night. Yeah. And the details also with the stencils. So we are only selecting that one. I was doubting a moment if I want to include like from New Zealand, the one with the whale. Yeah, we already have so many outfits. This does mean that we don't have an outfit from Asia. Yeah, I'm sorry. I actually, even though you should always be glad with what you get, like I do think, if I look back on it, that Southeast Asia deserved a bit more. Like people already have to travel like from very far to probably attend a show. I feel like his team could have give a little bit more, to be honest. Yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. So until now we have 14 outfits. And then we actually are almost there. We are almost ending it. We are going to the last European leg, which I just feel like is just a whole bonus era. It might have been one of my favorite periods of my whole life. Is the second leg in Europe. One, because it was so good weather when he visited Europe in May and June. I was able to attend several shows, which I am very lucky with. I feel like there was just a very good atmosphere in the whole fandom. And I felt like these were just kind of a celebration of his success of Harry's House, because it was like so many iconic sold out shows, like Wembley 4 times. He did Slane Castle. He did like the last show in Italy where there were like 100,000 people, but also like beautiful, like near the ocean in Lisbon. All these arenas that he sold out night after night after night. And I think that must have been, you also concluded that, right? But such an emotional thing, if you think back about what he said after One Direction, like, we are never getting to do this on that level. I'm fine with that. And I do think that especially that second leg, like, he might even be more like successful than One Direction. And I think just for him with only 3 albums, yeah, I'm just glad that he's achieving all his dreams. And also that we got to see and be a fan in the same era. Am I biased? I don't think so. I think objectively, like the last leg of tour got the most beautiful outfits. Maybe because there was just a longer period of time to come up with the outfits. Maybe the rent of Harry Lambert was due. I don't know what was happening, or that they just were like keeping all these beautiful outfits for the last 30 to 40 shows. But like, let's give an impression of it. We had these ones. So like, again, the tops with the trousers. By now, all the trousers were leather. We had like the little donut, the popsicle. I think it's the watermelon. That was actually at my show. We also had like the cute ones with all the glitters. And then we had kind of a new thing with like the polos. I don't think they were really fan favorites. I was also not the biggest fan of it. Not necessarily because of the polos, but more because of the color coordination of them. It was often like a very like green, brown kind of leather with like, yeah, it just felt a bit off, to be honest. But yeah, he did wear like the One Direction hat with it, so that made up a lot for people who were visiting there. Also, like we had the space one, and of course, like the Wembley dungarees came back. We had them like in different patterns, with the hearts in the blue one, the purple one, and the last one, Wembley Night 4, when he decided to just come out without a shirt on. I love that. I love that for him. I also think that these are objectively the most beautiful dungarees with all the glitters and just like the details. This also must be so hard to make. Then we have the suits. Yeah, do I need to say something about that? Look at them, all 6. So beautiful. And last but not least, yeah, we like at the start we had like the tasseled ones, remember, with like the red ones, and like the last one where he did like the triple kiwi. But like now they came back with different colors. I don't know what was going on in Barcelona, in Lisboa, and the last shows, but these are just absolutely beautiful. And those were also the reason why I started thinking about making a video like this. I already had that idea at the end of the Love on Tour because of these outfits. And I was like, yeah, it's a fan thing to love outfits, but this is just art. These outfits are actually just art. They should be in a museum, and they need to get some love declarations. So if I can do that with this video, I feel very happy that I can do that. So big shout out to whoever designed these, who made these. Yeah, it's just lovely. Before I'm gonna choose an outfit, I wanna again make some references, because until now I did make the comparisons to Elton John. That was more by coincidence. The David Bowie one was very intentional, and I think this one is intentional as well. When he was playing Slane Castle, I think one of the most iconic performances on Slane Castle was the one of Queens with Freddie Mercury. There were like all these pictures, and like the days after his Love on Tour performance there, I saw video of things like this. And I don't necessarily will say that he's on this, that these are like comparable in vocals, or like people often get very angry when you compare the two. But I do feel like if you look at our generation or my generation, like who is closest to being like Freddie Mercury, it's Harry Styles. And I mean that with like vocals, but especially with like charisma, how he is on stage. Like you can really see that Harry is an entertainer who just knows how to work like an audience, who knows how to present himself on stage. He's objectively, like if you look at it, having so much fun. I don't think that is a role. I just think it's so innate for him, and that's that quality that Freddie Mercury has as well. If you look at him performing with Queen, you can just like he breathes it. It's just like, that's just something. I don't know if that's what they call the X factor, or like something that you can't really, that's something you can't train. Like you can train your voice, you can train a lot of things, But having that on a stage with like 100,000 people around you, I think there are only a couple of people who have it like, who are that comfortable on the stage. And 100% I understand this comparison, and I also love both of them. So for me, it's also quite of special, because I feel like it just makes me happy, because I do feel kind of sad that I never saw Freddie Mercury live. So on point, very on point. But that's not what we're here for. We are also here to choose. And I did make a selection. It was quite hard, but also not. It was hard in a way that I just know that we have to eliminate in the end a couple ones. But first, I was doubting with this first the first European leg, like, am I gonna choose that Dangerie, like the first Wembley one, because I do think that's very iconic. It will for always be like a kind of a statement moment. No, not a statement moment. Like when he was like singing in the rain with Sign of the Times in Wembley for the first time. But I have chosen for this one because I just think this is funny. I was also wondering, like, the thought process before this. Is it that like Harry is like thinking, you know what? It's hot outside. I'm just gonna go without a shirt. Or was this planned? I just find it funny. I just know that, yeah, why not? And he looks absolutely beautiful in it. Another reason why I wanted to include this is Harry said several times during this night that was his favorite performance maybe ever, his favorite time on stage. There was also Rain with Sign of the Times. He did all these extra songs, and I think it's just one of the highlights of tour for him, and therefore it deserves a place, right? It's definitely coming out. It's definitely coming in the top 10 as well. This one, yeah, I feel like the minute he came on stage with this one, there were two thoughts in my head. It's Mermaid and it's ABBA. It's like Mermaidery ABBA, and it's so shiny and sparkly. Yeah, it's just. I think this is one of the most beautiful tracksuits of all of them. Oh. This actually is quite a unique staple. It's also because it's very different in the color scheme, but also like in the patterns. This makes me think of Aladdin. I think this was in Lisboa. He also did like the little collaboration with Wet Leg. This was one of the last shows, maybe the last for Italy. Yeah, I think this is a pattern I would like to have like on a curtain or like a cushion or on like everything. This is a very beautiful pattern. Yeah, I think this will be the outfit that if it would ever be possible to like bid on outfits, like imagine that I'm 30 years older, I have made a lot of money, I don't know necessarily from what, but let's assume it for a moment, and that you can actually bid on certain outfits, I would probably bid on this one. Yeah, this is actually, yeah, I would want this one. I don't know if I would fit it. I have the length, like I'm also 1 meter 80, so the length will be okay, but I don't know with like he's so tiny. He's actually really small, but also really muscular, so it's like a very, yeah. We're almost nearing the end. I do feel that, of course, we're gonna also include the last one. Regardless of the sentiment of the show, look at how beautiful this is done. All these stars, the tassels. Yeah, he looks incredible. Does it also feel like a long time ago for you? Because I do feel like, yeah, it's 1.5 years ago, but it also really feels like a long time ago. Like, look at him boot scooting. Yeah, that was actually very cool. I remember that I was watching the show from home and that there were like 80,000 people in the live. I don't know from which person the live was. I can't remember her name, but she was like so enthusiastic. It was so fun. So we have quite a lot of one. Let's see. We have like the 6 from the first leg. Then we have the 2 from the first European leg. We have the 3 from the American leg. We have 2 from the Southeast Asia. No, the South America leg. 1 of the Australia Southeast Asia leg. 4 of the second European leg outfits. That means we still got to delete half of the. And I do want to give a little shout out to the whole period of L'Aventure, because when I was preparing for this video, I came across so many beautiful outfits from those 2 years, from the festivals that he did, the premieres for his movies, several outfits that he did for magazines. Like, it was an endless row of outfits. I made a choice to not include them, but I do want to give them a little shout out. So let's see here. You have
Style is the answer to everything. To do a dull thing with style is preferable to doing a dangerous thing without it. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art. Style is a difference, a way of doing, a way of being done.
For now, I'm gonna take a break for a moment, because I was prepared for this part, but I haven't prepared my top 10 yet. So that's what I'm gonna do now for a moment. Then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna see which place we're gonna put everything. So let's start the last part. Can we get a drum roll? Because we're going to the top 10. So these are the ones that I picked out from, and we're just gonna go through them. So on place 10, we have the fine line suit. Yeah, that's just, if I can pick one with suspenders, the blouse, the high trousers, is this one. Forever Be Beautiful, the fine line one. On 9, we have this outfit. On 8, we have the birthday outfit, the Barbie one. Then we get Dorothea at place 7. Yeah, I was doubting a bit where to place her. But place 7 is good, from 170 outfits. Then we are going to the 6th place. That's Brazil, with the rainbow bird and the leather heart outfits. I couldn't have found a picture where he's actually smiling, only this one. This is a bit of a scary scary picture, but you get the idea. Yeah, iconic. Then we're entering the top 5. Yeah, We're gonna see who's get the prizes. On place 5, we have the Wembley Dungarees. On place 4, we have the Velvet. Then we're getting in the top 3. I honestly knew the top 3 up front. Yeah, that's something that you might do as a fan, that after a tour, you're like, what was my favorite outfits? On 3, it's Mamma Mia meets Mermaid. This was in Germany. It's such a beautiful outfit. Look at just how they even placed all these paillettes, the colors. It's beautiful. Then place 2, we have Lisboa. The Aladdin, the Middle East kind of inspired outfit. Yeah, I mean, this picture would say enough, but just look at like this pattern. This must have been also very difficult to make, but it just fits him so well. He looks like some kind of Greek god or something, as if he's sculpted. But no, this is him on Love on Tour. Yeah, it's a very beautiful outfit. Absolutely. Place 2 and place 1. Let's give it a drum roll. Place 1, my favorite Love on Tour outfit is this one. Yes, it is this one. I absolutely love this outfit. The colors look so well on him. I really like it with the HS1 or the HS on the back. With like, yeah, it might not be the most, how do you say it? It might not come up in the most memorable outfits, but it is my favorite. And here we have the top 10. Yeah, it's a beautiful top 10. I'm really happy with this, how this ended up. Let's give it a shoot out. Let's give you a moment to appreciate, in my opinion, the best outfit. Yeah. Simplicity, but also the colors, very beautiful. Little cherry, the HS. I might gonna recreate this one for the next tour. In this world. Yeah. So that was that. Quite a task, but I love doing this. I love reviewing all the shows, all the outfits, finding all the pictures. I'm just curious, what are your favorite Love on Tour outfits? Drop them in the comment section. In general, just thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon again here. Bye!